boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm ForClassic and welcome to Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. So this game is developed by Square Enix and it uses two different engines. It uses both Unreal Engine 4 engine as well as the in-house engine. So let's start with the package. So this package, contrary to the previous package that we did test, which contained 6 games, this one contains only 2 games and a movie. So you have the Dream Drop Distance HD, which is based on the old engine and it's very close to what we got on the first package, the HD 1.5 and the HD 2.5. But we have also Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage. This one it is built in using Unreal Engine 4, and graphics-wise it is very close to what Kingdom Hearts 3 it is. And also we have this Kingdom Hearts X back cover, which is not a game. This is simply a movie. It's like you open YouTube and you watch the movie and that's about it. So let's start with the Dream Drop Distance HD. Since it's probably the one that will interest you the most, since it is where you will be spending like 20 hours. All right, so no graphical settings, just like the previous package. So the only thing you can select is resolution, VSync, or frame rate limits. So at no surprise, since it is based on the old games, I'm playing at 1080p, which is my maximum screen resolution that I have on this laptop. And at no surprise, the performance, it is above 100 frames per second, except for these specific moments, which are the cutscenes. Cutscenes are locked to 30 frames per second, just like it was happening on the previous package on all the classic games. So cutscenes were 30, and the rest of all the games were just playing above more than 100 frames per second with the MX130 or a GT 940 MX. And, well, that's about it for the performance. But there is one thing that you should know, is that all these classic games are running using DirectX 12. Which might sound a little bit weird, because if they are classic, you would be expecting to see the game running at probably DirectX 9 or 8 or even 11 for kind of compatibility issues. But no, they are running with DirectX 12. I don't have a good explanation why they are using DirectX 12, but the only thing that comes to mind is that they are probably emulating some things while playing these old games, because let's be honest, nobody is going to rebuild or port a very, very old game straight into the PC markets out of nowhere and a ton of titles available. No, I'm pretty sure they are emulating this, and they are using DirectX 12 in order to improve performance of the emulation. Because if you are going to check out emulators out there, you'll see that most of them, they do use Vulkan or DirectX 12 exactly for that specific reason. So I know this might sound a little bit far-fetched, because I'm not having any proof in here that proves that, but that's just what I do think it is happening. So, but, well, the Birth by Sleep game, it is not the case. It is completely ported to the PC using Unreal Engine 4. But just like the other games, they don't pack any graphical settings. You just have like the resolution, the frame rate limits, and the VSync. So looking to the requirements of this package, it is clearly that this one, it is way more demanding than the previous. This one asks for a GTX 760, and that's about it. So for the performance, I wasn't really expecting this to be playable at all, because I'm having in here an average of 38 frames per second with a 1% low of 27. Only 5% of the time the game was lower than 30 frames per second. So this is very good in my opinion. It means that the game it is playable above 30s, which is, yeah, it's good for an Unreal Engine 4 game, especially when you don't have graphic settings for you to tune. So that's what I was afraid of, you know. Usually when we play Unreal Engine 4 games with this graphic card, we usually dial back some settings in order for you to have a decent performance. But since this game doesn't offer any graphical settings for you to choose from, you can't reduce textures or shadows or ambient occlusion or depth of field, you can't disable any of that stuff. I was expecting bad news. But the thing is, the good news is that it is playable, it is above 30 frames per second, and the drops, the majority of them that I had in this test, it was during the cutscenes. It's not that it won't be happening during gameplay moments, but I'm only really expecting those drops under 30 frames per second to happen in gameplay when you have tons of enemies on screen and all of them are attacking and you do kind of a special attack or something. That's the moment where I'm expecting the frame rate to drop to something lower than 30, but still the drops are very, very, very small in my opinion, so it's super playable, and in that regard, it is awesome. Now, regarding the value of this package comparing to the first one, I think this one it is way more expensive, mostly because the first package contained 6 games. I know they were all very classic games, but they were 6 games, and that's it. You had tons of hours of gameplay in that package. While the second package, this HD 2.8, I don't think that it shares the same value because the Dream Drop Distance HD, it is a full game, you can finish in 20 hours, it is also a classic game, so that's fine. But this Dream by Sleep, it is kind of a Birth by Sleep, I mean. It is kind of a game that it is a quick explanation in gameplay of the prequel stuff, I mean, of the stuff that it is about to happen in the other games. So it's a prequel, you know. It's a game that you will finish in like 1 to 3 hours, so it's a very, very quick game. When you do expect that, all right, so we are going to change to a different level, no, that's where the game just finished. So it's an experience to 1 to 3 hours, and that's about it. And then you have the DX back cover, which is simply a 1-hour movie. So it's in terms of value, I do think that this is probably the worst package available on the Epic Store at the moment. Yes, that's the other bad thing, because this is an Epic Store exclusive, which means that if you want to get this game on Steam at the moment of this video, you can't. It's an Epic Store exclusive. So that's bad news for most of the people. I have 2 ways of thinking about that. It is bad, it is true, but I think that if it wasn't for Epic Store, we wouldn't be having these Kingdom Hearts games. So guys, I think that's all that I want to talk about Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8. The next game tested on this graphic card, it will be the very awaited game that you have been requesting for a long time. It will be Kingdom Hearts 3. So stay tuned if you want to watch that video. Don't forget to subscribe if you didn't. And that's about it. So thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
I took it for granted. I thought I had nothing in life to lose. Here, too, everyone in this world thought that they were safe. Not just the people, but the dog waiting for his owner. The cat curled up in her nook. So much life. Trees and flowers. There's no deeper sadness than discovering all that you knew is gone. The grief in this place is too much to fathom. That's enough. I can't keep on wishing for the past. The row collapsed when the clock advanced. If only I made it in time. But there's no time in this place, only the clock. I knew it. I should look for a gear. Okay. Is that one on the bridge?
Enough! Hey! Yeah! Hey! You're done!